Hey friends, today we are going to make a cake inspired by the artist Wayne Thiebaud. We're first going to start with a shape called an ellipse. An ellipse is the top of a cylinder. It basically looks like a long, skinny football. Depending on the angle that you're looking at a cylinder, it can get wider or it can get more narrow. We're going to draw one kind of middle of the row that looks like a long, skinny football. Now I'm going to draw two straight light lines going down and add a curve to the bottom that matches the bottom of the ellipse for my cylinder. Remember, we're drawing a 3D form, so we want things to look as realistic as possible, and we need to have a curved line on the bottom to match the top. Next, I'm going to find the middle of my ellipse and draw a nice wide triangle, and then bringing the edges of that triangle down to match the cylinder, I'm going to draw 3 vertical lines. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to match the angle of the diagonal line. So I'm making sure they're parallel. Parallel lines mean they are going the same direction and they're never going to intersect. If you need to take your pencil and slide it down to match that angle, that's a really, really good idea. Next, erase the part that we overlap. So erase the part of the ellipse at the top and then that whole bottom sliver inside of that cutout. And now we have the illusion that a piece of cake is being cut out of our cylinder. Once your cylinder is completed, we're gonna move on and we're gonna add another tier to our cake. So just like what we did, I'm gonna draw a nice large ellipse. Notice how I'm drawing so lightly with my feather lines and sketching, because we're going to be overlapping and doing a lot of erasing, so draw nice and lightly. So see how I'm drawing a nice large ellipse that is larger than my top one. And again, I'm going to repeat the exact process I just did. 2 vertical lines. The bottom is a curved line to match the curve at the top of my ellipse and my cylinder. And you can make another slice being cut out if you'd like to. You don't have to. I opted to make a skinnier triangle and again drew those vertical lines down, but I would only see the side of the slice. I would only see one side of inside of the slice here. So it's a different angle. Just make sure those lines line up. If you'd like to add a filling, you can do that. Again, make sure that your lines on the inside are matching the top and the bottom. You want the angle to all be the same, or else it's gonna look very confusing if things are not lining up. Notice my lines are a little bit off. So I am erasing them, and I'm gonna use my eye and my pencil to get a better, more accurate angle so that things look a little bit more realistic. Okay guys, so the hard part is over. Now here comes the fun. Let's start decorating our cake. So you can decorate your cake however you want to. I started by making some bumpy lines around the edge of my ellipse and on the bottom to make it look like there was some piped frosting. I'm adding some decorations on the side of my cylinders as well as some candles. Couple things to keep in mind when you do candles, it's a good idea to make sure that the candles in the bottom of your ellipse are larger because they're closer to us, and then the candles that are in the back towards the upper side of the ellipse are smaller because they're further away. I'm adding a little bit of shading as well. By this point, you should have practiced some different ways that we can add value to our work. Adding value and shading is another way that we're going to make this look more realistic. So I want you to pick one side of your cake where you would imagine the light to be coming. I'm imagining my light source is coming from the top right. Therefore, everything on the opposite side of that top right corner is going to have a bit of a shadow. The far left of my cylinder on both sides, the inside of my cake slice on the right would be in shadow. And then don't forget to mention that there would be some cast shadows coming off of those cylinders from where the light would be shining. You can press really hard with pressure. You can also experiment with doing hatching and cross hatching, which is layering your lines.
Okay.